Yeah, so I am the teacher, but I also am the tour guide for this tour. We have some tourists here on my 12-person bicycle. And so I'd like to, introduce to them a little bit about Philadelphia. Just wanted to talk a little bit about Philadelphia as quickly as possible. I don't want to take up too much of your time because we have so many more great performers. So I'm just going to share my screen here and hopefully this works. Okay, cool. And perfect. So welcome to Philadelphia in this little presentation. It's a mini version of a show that I do called Worst of Philly. Now, before I talk to you,
love the like photo camera.
Thank you so much. I did not do any of this art, and I'm also not crediting anyone for doing it. No one is getting paid or credited. It is just very much stolen. No, it's not. Somebody designed it for me, and I underpaid them. Okay, so
great. I love America.
Yes, thank you so much for joining me on my tour. Now, before I show you around the city, I feel like I should talk to you a little bit about the history of the, hang on, there's some technical issues on this 12-person bicycle.
Listen up, John.
So American.
Listen, John, you're going to hear how they kicked your ass.
Who here is from Philly? Is anybody here from Philly? Make some noise.
No.
Good. I love a good, quiet Zoom response.
Everybody knows where we are from. They didn't want to answer.
Okay, well, Monsieur, excusez-moi, but pardon une seconde, but there's some history I have to go over. So, Philadelphia was founded by William Penn, whose hair looks like the material in elevators that they put in elevators when they're renovating them.
Thanks.
So he founded Philadelphia with the vision of making a city that's filled with luscious green nature, just a really green city. And we've done a great job at maintaining that. And we even have really exciting plans for the future. So in keeping with like the nature theme, William Penn named every street after a tree. Walnut, chestnut, spruce, Aramingo, Roosevelt Boulevard, everything's a tree or a bush. Or a nut. He named it Philadelphia, which is Greek. Actually, phila means love, and Delphia means no thank you. Now, our public transportation, it has 2 stars, which kind of makes me upset because I know it's bad, but like, is it really 2 stars worth? Maybe. So I was doing some investigation into SEPTA, that's our public transportation system, SEPTA.
Like septic? Like septic?
SEPTA, as in somehow enough people tolerate our ass. But yes, also like a septic tank. If that's, I mean, I don't know how it is in Australia, but it's pretty bad here. So I was doing some research and I, saw that they had 2 stars, and I saw this review from somebody from Toronto, Canada visited, and they gave it 2 stars and they said still much better than other cities. Okay. So then I looked at some other cities and I looked at a list of where we rank out of 100 cities where our public transportation is. Now, tourists, on the number, which number do you think we are out of the best public transportation, 1 out of 100? Where do you think we rank?
Based solely on this tour, I'd say probably 101.
You think we're worse than the list, even?
Are you?
Okay.
I don't know. 2 stars is better than any public transport I've ever been on.
Well, yes. I don't know how they do things in in the neighborhood known as UK. But,
The
neighborhood. But I don't know how public transportation is there. But so here it is. We are number 89.
Oh,
We're not the worst.
We are the worst. And so I was doing some more investigation into our 2 stars because I'm like, wait, we're 89. So this person from Toronto, they're from Toronto, their public transportation also has 2 stars. So then I looked at number 100 on the list, which is Indianapolis, and their public transportation, 3 stars.
Or not. Oh.
That is some bullshit. That pissed me off so much to the point where I got very defensive of Philadelphia and I wanted to settle the score. So I wrote a positive fake Yelp review of our public transportation system. I wrote, when you get on SEPTA, they give you a free hot cookie, just like a double free. I recently held my 8-year-old nephew's birthday, very early bar mitzvah on the Market Frankfurt line, and we had a great time. For entertainment, we had a DJ, a guy selling oils and pistachios, and a person with grocery bags taking up 5 rows of seats. Highly recommend SEPTA for a special occasion, or if you just need a place to unwind and roll a blunt. Can't wait to come back next time. And then I made it seem like this is a person visiting from Indianapolis, and then I wrote "Go Eagles" on the end. Go Eagles!
Awesome.
And then, just to settle the score, to balance everything out, I went to the Indianapolis Public Transportation Yelp and I wrote a bad review. So, just to settle the score.
Go Eagles.
You sure this wasn't Carson Wentz?
It wasn't Carson Wentz. I'm sorry. I don't know who that is. I don't know anything about the British people.
He's a Philadelphia quarterback who just went to Indianapolis.
No,
Okay.
I've never seen Carson Wentz and Dan Vetrano in the same room at the same time.
Or no, yeah.
Oh my God.
I play for Manchester United. How dare you?
Or no.
I thought that was you.
So did you know you can review cities on Yelp?
I did.
Entire
That's
city.
crazy.
Yeah, Philadelphia, we have a Yelp review, although I shouldn't be calling Philadelphia a city because, as we all know, it's a local flavor.
Or no.
You can also review states on Yelp, and that's where things kind of drop off. That's where things really take a turn, is people like cities, but they don't like states. This review, Pennsylvania.
I've seen the voting stats, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I will show you the voting stats, John, with an exclamation point, because we have 1 star because of 1 review. It's from this guy, Jake R. And to be fair, after reading the review, it's really more of a review of the Hampton Inn. It's really, which is conveniently located near his job, which honestly he gets paid well from, and he thinks the town that he stayed in is beautiful. So I don't know. So we all know about the bad things happen in Philadelphia meme. I've been thinking about the reputation that we have. There's this bad things happen in Philadelphia meme. There's the Wawa version of the bad things happen in Philadelphia meme. There's the Philadelphia version of the bad things happen in Philadelphia meme.
Or no.
And then there's this kind of crazy one with a hashtag Scrapple. It says in 2 separate places that it's made in the USA, and yet I'm still not convinced. But it made me think, is Philadelphia as bad as everyone says it is?
I'm also not convinced that neck goes
bad.
with that torso.
What's that?
I'm really not convinced that neck and that torso fit together.
Look, I don't see neck. Are you talking about in the Scrapple one?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were examining the neck and torso of the.
I wasn't
Wawa
talking about
bird.
you, Dan, don't worry.
I thought you were talking about the Wawa bird. I was like, I don't know the anatomy of the Wawa crane or whatever that bird is, but it's not a crane. It's a stork, and it delivers sandwiches to babies. Anyway, so it's not a question that you can just type into Google. You can't just be like, Philadelphia is a nightmare. You'll just wind up getting an advertisement for a local Halloween pop-up bar that happened during COVID. I looked up this bar called Tinsel. It's a scary place. They have creepy decorations, indoor dining, maskless bartenders. It's a scary place. But you can always get a breath of fresh air by just stepping outside and going for a nice stroll. One of our top reviewed things, one of the best things to see on Yelp is, of course, the Rocky Steps. If you look up the Rocky Steps on Yelp, you will see it's one of the best, highest reviewed things in the city. Out of 136 reviews, only 39 of them mention that it's at a world-class art museum. Which is crazy because Rocky is a fake boxer. Philadelphia has a real boxing legend named Joe Frazier, and his statue.
Oh, I love that show, Frasier.
I don't even want to know what Australian Fraser is like. Is Roz like does Roz just have an American accent?
The dog's a kangaroo. The dog's a kangaroo.
Hell yeah, the kangaroo instead of the little dog that Fraser's dad has.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, awesome. Well, great.
I'll
But
sell it in veg, you might.
are you singing? Okay, absolutely no singing allowed on this show. I know it's interactive, but no singing.
Oh, no.
It's interactive, but it's not that interactive.
Anyway, I'll wrap up because I'm over time. But basically, we do have a real, actual boxing legend who was a real person named Joe Frazier, but his statue is not at a world-class art museum. It's at Xfinity Live, which is just the Comcast
No.
dining hall. It's just this Comcast dining hall. Now, since you're tourists visiting from other countries, just so you know, Comcast is one of America's favorite companies. And the options, the ad options are even better. I'll wrap up with this last thing I want to tell you: the worst place to go grocery shopping in Philadelphia. I figured this is something you should know. So, what's the worst place? Oh, sorry, I had. Anyway, the worst place to go shopping in Philadelphia. The first one is, oh my God, I'm sorry. Okay.
We'll edit this.
I actually made this slideshow when I was really high, and I'm sorry. I must have screwed the animations. I put 2 animations in there and I forgot. Anyway.
You did the cocaine.
That's how my exclamation point got there.
Cocaine would have made this better. Trust me. Anyway, worst place to go grocery shopping in Philadelphia. Oh my.
Oh no.
Worst place to go. Okay, what? Are you kidding? All right. Worst place to go grocery shopping in Phil. Okay, it's coming back to me. Wonderful. You know what? Forget it. That's it. That's the end of the tour. Thank you so much. My name is Dan Vetrano. Give it up for your host, Storm.